Hello guys, this is FX Bright, the trade guru. So on this video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to determine the trend of the market. And what you will understand with trading is that for a large part of trading is all about the trend of the market. If you're able to determine what the market is doing, then you just do what the market is doing. For instance, if you look at this particular trade, you can see how the market was going up, and you can say this is an uptrend. So if you know it's an uptrend, why won't you buy? The only thing you need to do is buy. And if you bought, why would you lose? You see? So the most important thing is to determine the trend. Any day you're able to successfully determine the trend of the market, you have solved 50% of your problem. So if that's something you want to know about, like and subscribe and turn on the bell notification. All right, so I'll just get right into it. Now, for a market to um, begin a new trend, or for you to be able to determine what the trend of the market is, there are two things that must happen. First of all, before I get into that, a trend just simply means the movement of the market. For instance, if this movement is downwards, then this is a downtrend, right? And if the movement is upwards, then this is an uptrend. Okay, so let's assume that this market was in a downtrend, right? Coming like this. Okay, now, and for some reason, the market is about to begin an uptrend. Now, there are two things to know. There are two things to know to be able to ascertain that this uptrend, that this downtrend has come to exhaustion. Now, there are two lines you will draw. The first line is the trend line itself. So you're going to draw the trend line to connect the trend, right? So let's assume that the market is now going up here, going back to the trend. The first thing the market should do for you to determine that this downtrend is over is to first of all break this trend, right? So you can understand that prior to now, it was just bouncing off this particular trend. And on this particular time, it came up and broke the trend. Now, that is the first thing you want the market to do. Now, because the market has done this, doesn't mean it's on an uptrend. Even though it makes another move and goes up, it doesn't mean it's on an uptrend yet. There is one more thing for the market to do for you to know that the market is now in an uptrend. The market must then go to break the last swing high that brought it down, right? So let me clean this again and make it a little bit clearer. So you can see what the market will do. It will go up, it will go down in some kind of trend. Then you can be able to draw the trend line. Let me just use that broken line. So what I want the market to do is that the market must break this trend line, but not only break this trend line. If I'm able to draw another line here, if I'm able to draw another line on this particular swing high that brought the market down, what I want for the market to do is for the market to go up and break it and make a retest on that support that will now be that on that resistance has now become a support, and you can now find a buy. It's at this point you can begin to know that the trend has shifted. Now, if you don't understand this thing I just said, just don't worry, we'll get into the chart just in a bit. Okay, so if you take a look at this particular market, you can see what the price was doing, how the market was able to buy up to this point and started a certain trend towards the downward direction, and you can see how market was forming structures and breaking it towards the downward direction. So we can call this particular section of the chart a downtrend, even though we can see the price is generally ranging. Remember, this is a 24 hours candle, so you can understand how this particular place was really a very, very downtrend. But I just want to analyze this place just to show you guys something. So we can just put our zone tool around this place just to be able to get the map out of that resistance. And so what I was saying is, as this market is about coming down, how do we know when the market will change trend to begin going up? And I said there are two things you need to do. The first thing you want to do is that you're going to take out your trend line tool, and you're going to draw the trend line all the way touching this topmost part of that trend. So what you're going to do is you're going to stretch out that line. So now you want price to do two things. You want price to, first of all, now we've been able to get the trend price is using to come down. So as long as we have that trend, we are only waiting for two things to begin buying this market. First of all, we want price to break this trend, right? In other words, price must push up and break this line. The second thing price must do is that price must break this high, this swing high. So what I mean by swing high is when you look at this particular point, you will see this is the highest point in the chart. If you look down, you can see this place was the second highest, this place was the third highest, and so on and so forth. You see how price was making lower highs, right? So this is the last swing high before price is potentially about to break this line. So you need price to break this line, and you also need price to break that swing high. So I'm going to take home this my zone tool, which you can call the rectangle tool. I'm just going to take it up, and I'm going to draw a zone around that swing high, just to be able to get the details. So we're going to see how price was able to react. So you can see in this particular place how price has been able to break that zone and also break the trend line. So now the last thing we need to do is that we need price to bounce off this swing high. Now breaking it is not enough, right? We need price to bounce off it, right? So once price makes a bounce off this place, goes up and drops down for that bounce. If price makes a bounce, then we'll go to the lower time frame and look for good entries. So the most important thing has happened. The most important things are, first of all, price is going to break this trend line. Then price is going to break this particular swing high, this one. Immediately price broke it, which it has done now. If price goes back for a retest, then you can go to your lower time frames and find a way to buy the market. Now, as long as those two things have happened, you can now go to the lower time frame. So let's see how price was able to react. So you can see how price was able to break it, come back for a retest. So at this particular place, this particular zone here is where you can be going to your lower time frames to find very, very good buys. And you can see, for those of you that have entries for doji candles, you can be able to enter a very good entry after this doji. And you can see as the market pushed up, you can enter a buy, put your SL below the trend line, and let it be at the bottom of this swing low, which is this lowest point here. Put an SL somewhere there, and you can buy all the way. So that is how to trade it, because now the potential is that price ought to have begun an uptrend, and you can see how the market began moving all the way to TP. So let's see if we can find another example. And so guys, let's take a look at this current example. You can see where price was able to get to a certain resistance zone. So if you check to the left of the price action, you can see this place was a very good resistance zone. So I'm just going to take up my zone tool, right, and I'm going to pull out the zone. Guys, the reason why I like to draw this particular place is because it's important that price gets to a very good resistance before beginning the downtrend, so you can know that downtrend is very, very, very real. So now, as price was on his way down, you can see price trying to form structures and breaking structures, forming a little bit of support, breaking it, coming back for a retest, forming support, breaking it. Obviously, you can see that this price right now is currently in a downtrend. So what I said to do is, how do you know when this downtrend is about to end and price is about to go back up on these zones? How do you know when this particular downtrend is about to end? So what you're going to do, like I said, is you're going to go and you take up this your trend line tool, and you're going to place the trend line tool on the top here, the highest point you can find, and just stretch it, right? Stretch it to touch the second highest point as much as you can find. Then take it all the way down to the future. And what I said was very simple. price ought to break this trend line and break the latest swing high. So if you look at this particular point, this is the last swing high before price came to break, right? So this point is the point that price must break. And in sometimes you will see that price, in some cases you will see price able to break this trend line, but when it gets to this point, you see price will be struggling, and that point might even push price down. So that is why it's important for price to break the trend line and also break this swing high. So I'm going to take up my zone tool again, and I'm going to just stretch it up on this, just to find that place to see the swing high that price must break. So you can see how price was able to break this place and break the swing high, come back for a retest. So remember, this is a daily time frame. We're just making this analysis on daily time frame because we want to look for entries on this kind of stuffs on the lower time frame. So once you see price is able to break this place on daily time frame and is coming back on the retest, when you go to your lower time frames, you'll be able to spot very, very good trades. So you can see once price has been able to make those two moves successfully, you will see how price will then begin to shoot up. You can see how price made a retest there, made some retest there, and you can see we have this very good doji looking candle around this point. So for those of you that have entries that for doji, and you can see price began to make a buy on that just after the doji, and if you move, you can see how price began to buy and continue an uptrend, and that is how to take your trade, guys. So this trade will most likely get all the way to this top zone here. Yeah, so how you would have taken this trade is, guys, these trades I'm actually showing you are trades we've been on, but I just wanted to show you guys the way to analyze these trades and to take this trade. So how you would have been able to take this trade was after the market made a breakout of this point, got a retest, and you're able to get this one candlestick, that is this one buy candlestick. What you will do is that you will ensure your SL is just below this line and just below the swing low, somewhere around this point, below the swing low. Then you're going to take a 1:2 all the way top. So we took this trade and we were able to exit our trade somewhere around this point for a 1:2. So guys, this is how to take this trade. So you can go on and do a back test for yourself on other trades and see how to take this trade. As long as you've been able to get the trend of the market, all you need to do is for price to break those two places, come and make a retest. You get your buy on that retest, which is break these two places, come back for this retest, you find your buy on this retest, and you take it on. So guys, I hope this lesson was helpful to you. So if you've not liked this video, please like the video so the algorithm can be able to push it to other people. And if you've not subscribed, do subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.